Hi everyone, my name is Regina, and today me and my friends are going to talk about how can my decisions today affect my life tomorrow. We have today here Ileana Ramirez, Ramses, and Nadia Garcia with me. So, the first question and the topic is how can my decisions today affect my life tomorrow? Well, first of all, we have to know some facts. I was researching something and I found that your life is the sum result of all the choices you make, both consciously and unconsciously. If you can control the process of choosing, you can take control of all aspects of your life. You can find the freedom that comes from being in charge of yourself. So that is really powerful because you can see that everything that you decide to do one day, the decisions you make, the choices, everything comes and makes your life. Then we have Robert Bennett said, have you ever thought about how many decisions we make a day? Well, it's estimated that the average adult makes about 35,000 remotely conscious decisions each day. Each decision, of course, carries certain consequences with it that are both good and bad. We can find this information about that making decision is one of the things we do more day by day, which means that what we do will strongly affect our life. It can be in a good or bad way, depending on the decisions we make, depending on our choices. Do you know how many decisions we make in a lifetime? The average person makes 773,618 decisions in a lifetime, and will come to regret 143,262 of them. We can see that people regret a lot of decisions. Sometimes we make a decision based on another person, and sometimes we end up regretting it. We should learn to make decisions based more on what we want and what we need. Of course, not hurting other people, but basing on what we really need. Sometimes we make decisions based on someone else, and that didn't even make a change in the other person, but it made us fail in something we really wanted, and ended up affecting our future.
Hi, I'm Nadia Garcia, and as my friends already told you, we are going to talk about how can my decisions today affect my life tomorrow. First of all, what is a decision? A decision is a choice that you make about something after thinking about several possibilities. We can do a lot of different decisions on the day. For example, deciding what to wear, what to eat, or which route you should take for your work, etc. While these are not that important for most people, those who tend to overthink every minute detail of their lives can find it difficult to make such decisions. These people tend to feel overwhelmed by the decision-making process. These type of people are often called undecided people. Now, how can I make better decisions? The key of making better decisions is to educate ourselves by being completely informed about the situation. If you educate yourself and make an effort to learn as much as you can about the issue, you will find the power within yourself to be decisive. We have to consider enough things to make a decision, since perhaps that small decision can change your future or even your whole life. Knowing how to make the right decision is not always easy, since you can get confused or you just don't know what decision to make. But this already implies the situation in which you are. Today, many people think that the decisions we make at this time are not relative or basically not for our future. So they usually make bad decisions without knowing the consequences that they could attract. Also, a problem that is very important is that they do not make as much importance in making decisions as they should, and if it may not cause any at the time type of concern, but in the future it can cause few or many concerns and more. Now, how can my decisions today affect my life tomorrow? A very clear example could be that you have to enter high school and you are not doing very well in your grades. If you make the decision to put your full potential, you can graduate with an excellent qualification and very good grades. And you could also study at the university that you want. Now, that if you did not want to give your best effort, that will also affect tomorrow and your future, but of course in a negative way. Another example in the future could be that you are in the 5th semester of high school and still don't know what you want to study. And it's okay, there are a lot of people who usually cost a little more work to know exactly what they want to study. But this is the decision of your life, since it implies if you can have enough money, if you could give up that work, or of course if you really want that work and it's your passion or you really like it. So this is a decision that would absolutely change the tomorrow and your future. Another small example could happen with a question of who you want to marry. This is a very clear and different example because it's something that usually the people tend to forget or don't really ask themselves, but it is very important as much as the others because they are going to affect your future and tomorrow. As a conclusion, it is very important to make decisions and not just decisions, very good decisions, because if we don't usually do the right decision, we could have a little bit of more issues and we could get in some kind of trouble. So it is so important to think about it as much as you can, not to overthink it, but really to think about it and just live your life making good decisions. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ileana Ramírez, and I think that our decisions today can always affect our tomorrow. Some of the decisions we take are very little ones, and we can't notice the way they affect our lives. Like, for example, what we had for lunch, when we wake up, and what we do in our lives. But in other decisions is very noticeable because there is a big result out of them. For example, when we decide what we want to study, it can make a very big change in our lives because it makes us decide where we want to work, and that affects in what are the people that we are going to spend time with, and that leads to the ways we behave. There are other decisions that can take years to affect. For example, the plastic pollution. At first, people didn't think something could happen, but now we have problems with the environment because of the plastic that is thrown away. And that's how I believe that the decisions that we take every day in our lives can affect. Not always right away and not always with a big result, but they always affect. Hello, my name is Ileana Ramírez, and I think that our decisions today can always affect our tomorrow. Some of the decisions we take are very little ones, and we can't notice the way they affect our lives. Like, for example, what we had for lunch, when we wake up, and what we do in our lives. But in other decisions is very noticeable because there is a big result out of them. For example, when we decide what we want to study, it can make a very big change in our lives because it makes us decide where we want to work, and that affects in what are the people that we are going to spend time with, and that leads to the ways we behave. There are other decisions that can take years to affect. For example, the plastic pollution. At first, people didn't think something could happen, but now we have problems with the environment because of the plastic that is thrown away. And that's how I believe that the decisions that we take every day in our lives can affect. Not always right away, and not always with a big result, but they always affect.
Hello, my name is Ramses Santa Maria, and today I will be answering the question of how can my decisions of today can change my tomorrow. Well, first of all, I think that I have to explain how decision and choices work. You are making a decision, for example, when you are choosing the clothes that you are using today. You are making a decision when you decide to take a job or not take it. You are making a decision when you are choosing your boyfriend or girlfriend, and those are examples of decisions. But why is that important? Well, that is important because the smallest thing that you think that you are making a decision of is maybe the thing that later is changing your day, your week, your month, your year, or maybe your life. There are decisions that are more important than others, but this doesn't mean that you are not taking seriously the rest of the decisions you have to make, because if you are making a lot of bad little decisions, later it will be bigger than the important decisions that you made in the past. So, for making a decision, it's important to have in your brain that you are looking for your good and the good of the others, and that's it.